Let's rock and roll. Community conversations. We are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers. What do I want to do in this situation? I'm going to be using two screens this afternoon, my great people. Please share, like, share this community conversation. It will be on YouTube shortly after we complete. Probably go for about an hour. Strong hour. Community conversations. We are the gatekeepers. Again, I'm gonna be using two screens, making sure that I do my best to interact with people involved in this conversation. I wonder if I can edit this post. I'm gonna type community conversations. We are. I want people to be able to see what the discussion is about. Keepers. All right, man, let's rock. Yep, community conversations. We are the gatekeepers. Quick announcements. And for those who may be watching this live or in the future, which I always love to say, which is my past, I am Mr. Cage, training development specialist and training manager for Potential, teaching kids to think before they do. Middle schools, high schools. That position puts me in a place of community advocate. Been working in the Joliet community since 2009. No, backtrack to 2007. I was 27 years young. The present day, I'm 45. Worked in Joliet, Romeoville, Bolingbrook, Park Forest, Chicago Heights, and various community settings in the Chicagoland area. I have a good idea what community looks like and what it does not. So in this conversation, it's going to help us if we just assess where we are honestly and where we desire to go. I'm going to emphasize the word we. I love Booney. He does community work in reference to basketball. He has the motto of saying, we is greater than me. I love that. Shout out to you, Booney. We got to connect. I also need to connect with Nate Atkinson, too, who's doing great work in the Joliet community at Joliet West and abroad. Some people that I need to connect with. And I mention those individuals because these young men are doing great work. But I also mention them because these are some of the people that's in our community and some people that I'm associated with and I look forward to working with in the future. Quick announcements real fast. Keep checking. I'll keep checking the stream just for sake of interactive participation. Two announcements. Let me look this up real quick. First announcement is today we will be at the Underground in High Point, located at 171 High Point Drive, Romeoville, Illinois. Miss, I call her Miss Z, Miss Zakaya, will be facilitating an experience with us for young people ages 14 to 24. The session is 3-part. Today will be part 1. Empower your financial future. Essential concepts for personal wealth. Myself, I'll be involved in helping with the facilitation of that experience for the young people. However, my sister's going to do the heavy lifting. Shout out to her. Whether she's watching this now or in the future, it's going to be great. It's free too. Bring your kids out there. 3-week financial empowerment seminar taking place July the 17th today, July the 31st, and August the 14th. 3:30 p.m. to 5:30. We'll probably start at around 4:30. I can see that. Then we got Youth Night at Real Both International Ministries taking place tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will wrap up our sessions that's been centered around career development, advancement, education. We'll wrap up that conversation. Tomorrow, the goal is to discuss gifts. Right? What gifts have we been given? How to refine and make those gifts ready to go into the marketplace. We'll have an awesome discussion and conversation. It's going to be real interactive tomorrow. If you got any young people from ages, I would say 13 to probably up to 24, you can bring them out there as well. The information that's going to be shared is going to cross all spectrums of age and those age brackets. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. We got some other stuff planned for our next session, which is going to be centered around some back to school stuff, and we'll keep you posted on that as well. I'm checking the stream again just to see where everybody's at. Now that the announcements are out of the way, let's go on to the main topic of conversation. Community conversations. We are the gatekeepers. I know we've heard that term often, gatekeeper, and it's been used, it has various definitions in various contexts. But I want to give you a definition of, a definition of gatekeepers, or what is a gatekeeper. Then I'm going to touch on transactional versus non-transactional relationships in the context of community. We've done a video on just specifically on that, and we'll release it in the next week or so. After that, I want to talk about Jack and Jill. I'm going to be reading some stuff that was previously wrote, and I'm going to be giving you some definitions. Excuse me. Man, yeah, I'm gonna share some stuff in a second. By definition, a gatekeeper is an individual or entity that controls access to something, often serving as a point of entry or a filter for information, resources. Somebody type in the chat, comment section, or whatever platform you're watching this on, resources or opportunities. This concept of gatekeeping can manifest in various contexts. My highlight of this definition is an individual or entity that controls access to something, often as a point of entry or a filter. For resources, we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers. When I say we, I'm saying specifically in the context of our community. You may be a gatekeeper and not know it. And from this conversation, I'm going to share with you why you may be a gatekeeper. I may be a gatekeeper. Yeah, yeah. You may be your own worst enemy. I may be my own worst enemy. I'm going to share with you why. It's very important for us to be open to this type of conversation because I'm not trying to throw shade at you. My goal is to throw light at you, but we have to be open. The Bible talks about in 2 Corinthians 8 and 12. First, we must first have a willing mind, be eager to say, you know what? How I saw that, it's a different way to perceive it. It's a different way to see it. Gatekeepers in professional environments often refer to or can refer to administrative assistants who manage access to executives or important decision makers. They screen calls, emails, and meetings to prioritize what is presented to these individuals. Let me see. I'm going to use this education definition, but it's not. Well, I won't even use that because it's not relevant for the conversation. In social and community organizations, key in on this, gatekeepers may also refer to community leaders or influential individuals who facilitate access to resources or support services for marginalized groups or individuals seeking access. Community leaders who facilitate access to resources. This is something to think about on people for real. Let's go into let's see what the chat is talking about today. It's midday. I don't expect anybody to really view, but if you do, we're gonna see what happens. Check in the comment section. Mr. Carruthers, what's up, sir? I gotta give you a call back. I apologize. I'm gonna get back with you. Definitely. I'm gonna share with you now. We've given a definition of gatekeepers in the context of professional environments and in the context of social and community organizations. Let's talk about some characteristics of gatekeepers. Control. They regulate who gets access to certain resources or information. Screening. They assess requests for access and may filter or prioritize based on certain criteria. Key in on that. They assess or they assess requests for access, assess requests for access, and may filter or prioritize based on certain criteria. Filter or prioritize based on certain criteria. Influence, they hold significant power in the decision-making process, shaping the flow of information or opportunities. I repeat, we are the gatekeepers. You can be your own worst enemy, and I can be my own worst enemy. I'm going to share with you how. This is the statement that I put out there in the social media land earlier today I put it out there because I ran into, wasn't looking for it. I ran into I ran into a post. I ran into a post, and the post was of a person promoting themselves, which I don't see any. I hate to say I don't see anything wrong because I know people say that often. That's okay. We have the platforms to leverage and promote ourselves. When I looked at the promotion, the person in question was doing a lot. And I disagree with that. And I'm going to share with you why. This is what I wrote. There are far too many individuals who are Jacks and Janes of all trades, but master of none. Put Jack and Jane in the comment section, please. There are entirely too many individuals that are Jacks and Janes of all trades, but master of none. This occurs because we often get distracted at what we're good at and fail to concentrate on what we are great at. An individual that has the personality of being a Jack or a Jill of all trades, master of none, has the tendency to identify and focus on what they are good at and not what they are great at. For example, case in point, let me use myself. And I'm saying this in humility. I'm good at a lot of things when it comes to the tech, little tech savvy marketing gems, methods, strategies, practices, clipping videos, posting videos, writing. These are all skills that I'm good at, but they have been cultivated and perfected through practice over a period of time. In some cases, I had to be good at these things because when you go through the educational system via college, you adapt because these exercises, these activities become a part of your norm. I was in a position where I had to be good at these exercises and activities. But I'm great at this. I'm great at speaking. I'm great at facilitating. I'm great at creating transformative experiences, whether it's using content and in the facilitation of that content that's involving people. That's what I'm great at because it's a there's a natural gift that has been placed inside of me that I came into the realization of. However, it's easy being a creative being for me to get distracted at what I'm good at and ignore what I'm great at. I'll give you this example. And I need for us to hear this. I don't care what community that you're in. If you and I have come into contact with one another, it's important that you take heed to this conversation because I promise you, if we take heed to it, go on the cut, take some time out, self-assess, you'll find out that you are gatekeeping opportunities for your organization, whether it be for profit or not for profit. Please believe me. I'm working on a couple of projects with a couple of individuals. And I needed flyers for both projects. I could create the flyers. I could create the flyers for both of those projects, and those flyers would be in a spirit of excellence. And I'm good at creating those type of materials, but I'm not great at it. So my thought was, let me connect with someone who's great at that. Let me connect with someone who's great at that. And I reached out to that person, and eventually the person and I will discuss the projects, what I need, and what they need from me. Type this in the comment section of this video, wherever you're watching. Tip, tip, tip. In this case, there will be a talent investment because that person has goals of getting something accomplished, and I have goals in getting something accomplished. Most times we look to get compensation, monetary compensation for this type of service, but it's going to be a exchange. And this is the system that some of us need to consider, especially when you build an ecosystem of individuals and an organization. And I get an example because I can get off track of what I'm great at and give more concentration to what I'm good at. And that's going to turn into a gatekeeper situation. Let me go more into this. So I kind of bypassed it to give you examples. So I may introduce an idea or concept to you, the understanding of that concept in terms of my verbiage, but I'm also going to connect the real life experience to it so you can know that it's authentic. Let me continue to read this. I apologize. So additionally, here we go. Here we go. Additionally, we tend to operate solo. Type solo in the comment section, please. We tend to operate solo, believing we can do everything on our own. Independence, ownership. This approach can lead to a situation where we spread ourselves too thin. Instead, we should focus on truly becoming great at one thing. And as this will open up to new opportunities for us if we remain focused. So what I'm saying is that we should concentrate on being great at one thing. And as we focus on being great at one thing and continue to practice at that one thing, whether exercise, activity, skill set, opportunities will open up for us. I do understand that we have, well, I won't say that. I do understand that we perceive a scarcity of resources. And one of the reasons why we have a scarcity of resource is because we're transactional. We're transactional. I'm going to talk about transactional in a second. This is the tip that I would give you and will give us. It's important to seek out a team of individuals who are great at what they do, allowing us to collaborate and achieve greater success together. Allowing us to achieve greater success together. I wrote, find your team here. Talent investment program. I'm gonna put that at the bottom or in this post. I'm making a note to myself to do it. So let me go back to this gatekeeper definition as I refer to my notes. A gatekeeper is an individual or entity that controls access to something, often serving as a point of entry or a filter for information, resources, and opportunities. So my question to you is this. Are you a solo artist who has become a gatekeeper that is a blockage, a stumbling block, or hindrance to the access of resources that want to come to you? My challenge to you is this. If you are a solo artist, you are gatekeeping. You gatekeeping against yourself because you're too busy being good at many things instead of being great at one thing. In the social and community organization context, gatekeepers also refer to community leaders or influential individuals who facilitate access to resources or support services. Using my example, if I would have went on ahead and started trying to create the flyer, y'all, I would have been gatekeeping because independence, and if I refer to Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, which I will, shout out to my brothers and sisters in Hazel Crest, Entrepreneurs United. Let me give you this. This is real stuff. Because I'm running into too many individuals that need resources as far as financially. But if we work together as a team, that scarcity does not happen. Let me see. I want to share. Oh, here we go. So Robert Kiyosaki's book, Cash Flow Quadrant, I recommend you get it and read it. If you've read it already, reread it because as you develop in your mindset or your maturity, you see more because it's connected to your life experience, which is the essence of learning. It's four quadrants. On the left-hand side, you have the quadrant of E and S. E is an employee, S is a self-employed person. Many times, those are individuals who have small businesses. They may have, let's say, 0 to 5 employees, or they may be their own employee. On the right-hand side, you have B and I. B is a business owner, or as he refers to in his book, a big business owner, and the I is investor. Hey, and this is me quoting him. Woo! Please take notes to this. An employed person is a person that has a job. A self-employed person is a person that owns a job. When we say owns a job, what we're referring to is an individual that cannot generate income without their physical presence of providing a service. Self-employed people are often hardcore professionists. They want to do something exceptionally well in their mind. They do not think anyone else does it better than they do. So they really don't, and I think it may be hire anyone else to do it. For people in this group, money isn't the most powerful, let me see, aspect of their work. Their independence, the freedom to do things their way, and being respected as experts in their field is much more important than money. And let's see, this is the mentality or personality of a self-employed person. They often have a hard time hiring people to do what they do because in their mind, nobody else is up to the task. We are the gatekeepers because when we create these organizations and we riding solo artists, solo dolo, when something needs to be done within the business, we go and attempt to do it ourselves. And we immediately transform into gatekeepers because you may is equivalent to having company. Most of us, generally speaking, we don't have company at our homes unless it's announced. Person hits you up, Cage, what you doing? Nothing. But I want to stop by. Is that okay with you? Sure. A gatekeeper is equivalent to you got help outside of your gated community, but you won't let the people in because I'm good. I can do it. I don't need any help. Absolutely false. I'm observing and running into too many organizations that need help that, for whatever reason, can't access the resources to get the help, or maybe they choose not to work with anybody. It's impossible to be successful in business, whether it be from a for-profit or not-for-profit perspective, without getting help. It's impossible. Let's see where we are. All right. Yeah. All right. Let me give you this last piece. All right. So the main focus of conversation, community conversations, was we are the gatekeepers. Solution. We have to, and I'm gonna repeat this. We have to stop being Jacks and Janes of all trades and master of none, because when that takes place, we find ourselves as a solo artist attempting to do administrative tasks and other responsibilities and activities that's connected to the organization, which deflects us from focusing on our greatness because we get distracted by us being good, when the task of being your task of being good, you need to find somebody that's great with that. Dr. Pat Francis, awesome woman of God. She has a I think it's like a ten CD series on financial wealth, financial independence, and in one of the CDs, she talks about how you have to find people that are smarter than you in the context of their discipline. I don't agree with that statement totally because I don't compare what's been placed in me to other individuals, but I would say that those individuals they have the expertise and the proficiency in the area that I need help in. So let's work together as a team. And this is how these mutually beneficial agreements or exchanges transpire. But they don't transpire if we are transactional. So let me give you this or a definition of transactional versus non-transactional, and we will be completed for this session. Transactional. Transactional. Or I'm gonna type in, what does transactional mean? What? Here we go. I had a better definition yesterday. Transactional, relating to the conduct of business, especially buying or selling. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this other definition real quick. Y'all be patient with me, please, because it's a community conversation. Oh, here we go. A transactional relationship. Please check this out. Somebody type transactional in the comment section. TRANSACTIONAL. A transactional relationship is focused on achieving a specific outcome or goal rather than building a long-term connection. A transactional relationship is focused on achieving a specific outcome or goal rather than building a long-term connection. Let me give you this too. There was this quote that I put up yesterday. Oh, here it is. Some focus solely on achieving specific outcomes, while others prioritize building relationships that lead to meaningful results. Some focus and place their priority on achieving outcomes, while others prioritize building relationships that lead to meaningful results. So when you encounter an individual who, and I shared this in the video that I'll release in sometime 2, 3 days, whatever. The example that I shared was that sometimes you will encounter individuals who will portray that this relationship is going to be mutually beneficial and healthy, but their goal is merely transaction. Listen to me. Escuchen español for listen. Straight away from those individuals. They are not trying to build, they are trying to transact. There are people that are not trying to build. Thought of the day. They want to transact. There are people who don't want to build. They want to transact. Stray away from those individuals. Stray away. Going back. I don't have any other thoughts that I wanted to share with you all. Yeah. I don't deal with individuals who want to transact. I deal with individuals who want to build. The opposite of a transactional relationship is a non-transactional relationship. And when you encounter a person specifically in the context of community who is non-transactional, they want to build a relationship that leads to a transaction, but it's the relationship first is priority and transaction is secondary. And this is our approach when we're approaching middle schools, high schools, private schools, charter schools with potential. Our goal is to become a pillar or support the pillars within that school or community in hopes of adding to the momentum to shift school culture in a positive direction to make the learning environment more safer and more appealing, which results in the students learning more implicitly and explicitly, academically, socially, and emotionally. Let's go. When you run into those people, it may take time for a transaction to occur. Take your time, build together, learn each other. One of the major, let me give you this for my sister. This just popped in on my screen. We're going to finish up. Hey, this is a loaded conversation. We're going to talk about value systems. Let me give you this. This is from my sister, Davida Yami Alkaline. That was her name. That was her last name at that time. This is from December 27, 2018. How important are values you hold? One of the major causes of conflict in relationships has to do with the values that people hold. We all have our own set of values that we subscribe to, be it God, career, family, education, fun, church, purpose, peace, status, wealth, ethics, integrity, hard work, equality, service, debt, achievement, just to mention a few. We make decisions and live life according to the values we hold. Two people may even subscribe to the same set of values, but the priority they place on the value may differ. And it may cause them to make drastically different decisions. When building in the context of community with a community partner, it may be articulated or communicated that we share similar values. You identify the value that you identify the validity of the values that the person holds by their decisions. Yes, sir. You identify the validity of the values that the person says that they hold true, near and dear to their heart by their decisions. Your decisions will always let you know where your values are. So if a person values is transactional, then you will see the transaction eventually in their behavior. If a person holds the values of relational, you will see those values demonstrated in their decisions. Relation. If you are about to get into a business, here we go. Here we go. She says, well, what is this a problem? Sometimes it could be. It often leads to a lot of stress and breakdown in relationships. However, on the other hand, it could lead to a lot of progress and creativity. Lastly, if you're about to get into a business relationship, you are married or you are about to get married, it's worth finding out the value your partner holds. This activity may throw up a lot of surprises, and I would say red flags or green flags, either way. Something to consider. Something to consider, y'all. Man, this was a awesome conversation, an awesome session. Community conversations. We are the gatekeepers. Moving forward, recommendations for us, myself included. We got to go back and listen to this and assess it. It's not sexy. It's not negative. It's not negative. It's easy for us to condescend to negative material on social media because we see it as funny and comical, but it's really sowing the seed that's going to produce a lifestyle. We got to make the time to check out stuff that's not necessarily exciting. I tell my students all the time, get in the habit of embracing boring all day. So once we watch this and add our dialogue, take some notes, questions, feedback, or what have you, then we have to identify if I'm transactional or if I'm relational. I got to identify if my value system, my priorities is based on transaction or based on relationship. Remember, there are people who don't want to build, they want to transact. You have to ask yourself, what person are you? Are you a builder or are you a transactor? Real talk. Because if a person is a transactor, they're going to be a gatekeeper to themselves. Because if if you need any type of resource, any type of service, and you are a transactional person, then you can't get anything done without a monetary exchange, or you can't get anything done because we just use people for what they can do for us. Yeah, we just use people what they can do for us, and that is a telltale sign of unhealthy relationships. Let me give you these. Let me give you the difference between a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship. A healthy relationship is mutually beneficial to both parties involved. A healthy relationship is association or connection with an idea, culture, and experience. There's several other components of a relationship, but just remember it's an association or a connection with ideas, experiences, culture, people, and places. But the healthy relationship, the health part of it is mutually beneficial to all parties involved, and the direction for all parties is to go forward and to grow in their maturity. The opposite means that the unhealthy part of a relationship is that it's mutually beneficial to one party, and that one party only experiences the growth, the growing, and the going. Yes, I am done. We are done. Thank you for being here. Something to think about. Are you a gatekeeper? Till we meet again. Have an awesome day. Enjoy your weekend. Be great at what you do, but always aim to be greater at who you are.